ready to hit Bucky. The rest of y'all ready to go home. Y'all ain't.
All right, everyone, we'll get started here. Just please raise your hand. Jordan has the microphone here on the side, and we'll call on you. We'll start here in the middle in the white.
Hey guys, John Suggs, the 11 voice. So I'm going to ask you both what you thought about the talent of the coach this today. You see baseball at a single level, the highest level, obviously. So what do you think about the guys that you coach?
Well, I was truly impressed. We were talking on our way in today. You know, some of these pitchers were really throwing, man, and you know, see them for the first time hitting 95, 97. I'm like, wow, they should be in the draft tomorrow. I mean, when it's Sunday, I mean, they were bringing it. A couple of hitters, very athletic, man. So I was impressed with what I saw out of these young men, and they went out and played hard, and that's all we can ask for.
Hey, you know what? Well, I'll talk about my team first. The attitude and the energy that they brought. I told them after the game, and y'all made it a pleasure for me to be your manager. Mm-hmm. And if I could be your manager forever, I would. These kids were exciting to watch. And I was looking at Brian's team, and I was like, man, Brian, you got some boys over there too that can play. Mm-hmm. So collectively, there was a lot of talent out there. Some speed, yeah, guys could go deep, guys could on the gap, guys that could flat out play. And that was exciting to see, even though we came out on the short end. You know, really it was all about the kids. Everybody on my team, and I think everybody on BJ's team got a chance to play, which was the most important part. And I told him before the game, listen, my job is to make sure all y'all get a chance to experience this. And if we win, we win. If we don't, hey, it's an all-star game. That's all it is, just an all-star game. And that's what it was. So it was a joy, man, to be out there with these boys today.
And I tell you what, going out in that ninth inning and having to take my closer out, I said the fans are gonna boo my tail, man, because he was dealing, you know. And this is a kid who transferred to Alabama State and to pitch and never got a chance to pitch. I mean, he was just a hitter, and I'm sitting there like, why is he not pitching? And to be able to throw that hard, you know, you're getting that exposure right away in that last inning. I wanted to keep him in there the whole time because he was dealing. He went right at the hitters on Dave's teams, and man, hit 95, 97, he deserves a shot.
My only issue though with BJ coming to get him, you know, because I didn't have a problem with it. You know, I was just hoping BJ would come get him after he threw the first pitch. I think BJ did a horrible job of coming to get him late. You know what I mean? It's a shame that he, you know, he mismanaged that kid like that.
You got to blame Lester, my pitching coach. I'm not blaming him. If Campbell come in there and give it up, I'm blaming Lester.
We'll go here on the right side, second row.
AD Drew, Black College Nines. Both of you guys have played on some of the biggest stages, and it's kind of a follow-up to the previous question. But I want you guys to talk about the atmosphere out there. You know, I don't know what the announced attendance was tonight, but you know, you got bands, you got people playing instruments on top of the dugouts, and just different things that happen in the HBCU atmosphere. So just kind of talk about that, and especially in comparison to both you guys played in the World Series and some of the biggest stadiums in the world. Just talk about that atmosphere for us.
Woo. I'll tell you what. You want to go first?
You know.
You go first.
So I thought Major League Baseball did a great job of kind of encapsulating the experience of the HBCU with the fraternities. You know, me being a Q, you know, literally seeing the bros out there, you know what I mean, doing their thing, and then, you know, the other fraternities, and I saw the sororities out there. That's a big part of HBCU as well, you know. And then they got the fireworks out here tonight, which is getting the whole experience for the fans, and then to have the support of the people to come out here and really energize these kids. I mean, there's nothing better than playing in front of, I don't know how many, 20,000, whatever, they said it might be 20,000, but I mean, the experience of being able to play in front of 20,000 at Truist Park, you know, a major league ballpark. You know, the rain didn't really harm us that bad.
Right.
So the kids, because the one thing I thought was gonna suck is if they called this game, you know, then the experience is gonna be horrible. So God shined on us, and we were able to get through it. And I think the whole experience, the fans, of course, the fans are gonna love the whole experience. They're still enjoying it right now with the fireworks. So I think overall, Major League Baseball did an outstanding job of producing this.
and somebody who wanted to be a Q dog. I wanted to be a Q
I understand
dog.
everybody do. I get
But
it.
I went to University of Richmond and we didn't have any black fraternities, so I had to suffer a little bit. But no, just to be able to see that experience, man. I had my son with me, and I'm watching fraternities on top of the dugout jamming, and I'm sitting there like, man, if I'd have went to an HBCU, man, I don't think I'd have survived, man. So, but it was so much fun to watch and to see the experiences that everybody was having out there, the fans. I mean, they were really enjoying themselves, the band.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, that's what HBCU was known for, the band. So to hear the bands playing and having fun and enjoying themselves, that was the experience that Major League Baseball wanted to see. And boy, here in the ATL, they got a chance to see it and win a game. I mean, guys played a great game. I don't think it was a couple of errors. Guys played really hard, so that's all we can ask for.
Here in the front in the pink. Pass it down.
You act like BJ and I are deaf. You literally 3 feet in front of me.
I talk loudly. My grandmother always said I talk loud. Home team, Brandon Leak from Sports Radio 680 The Fan here in Atlanta and ESPN Radio. 15, 20, 30 years from now, what do you think these guys will be able to talk about and get out of what they were able to do tonight?
Well, one, like I told my guys, because of course my guys were a little dejected after the game. And I told them, understand something. Guys were selected to be here. Selected. There's a lot of kids that did not make it today. They're not here playing. You were selected, and you should be proud of that. And you played hard. And I literally told I wanted to understand that, fella, this is an all-star game. Okay? If we played BJ and them again, we might whoop their butt. Okay? So that's just how baseball goes. All right? So I think however many years, I think from tomorrow forward, they're going to look back on this experience as a positive experience overall, because there's nothing like being on an all-star team. Man, I was on all-star teams when I was a kid. I still remember playing on all-star teams. You know what I mean? It's because it's almost like, lack of a better word, it's almost like this is our own little fraternity that I just played with on a big stage. When these kids run into each other next year when they play against each other, and in the future, if they ever see each other when they get grown men and have kids, and they might run into each other one day, they're gonna always sit around, have a couple cigars, and reminisce on the night when they played in Truist. You see what I mean? It gives them something to talk about, you know what I mean, in the future. You know, we all get better as we get older. I mean, my stories about me as a player way better than when I was. I'm just saying, I think it's gonna be great for them. I think this experience overall absolutely was great for them.
Yeah.
I think.
And believe me, I think Dave and myself can say, when I first played in my first Major League Stadium back in Baltimore, the old Memorial Stadium back in the day, being a big fan growing up in Baltimore Orioles. I mean, that's an experience I will never forget. And these guys got to experience that today here at Truist Park in front of great fans. And you can see the smiles on their face, man. The energy, they talk about the energy. I found a lot of leaders on my team really stepping up and leading and getting guys pumped up. And that's what you enjoy as a manager, to sit back and watch these young men having fun, but stepping up and being leaders. We were never out of that game. I'm over there as a manager, like, shit, we down 4-1. Goddamn, I can't lose today. Come on, let's go. But they were just so calm and cool. And next thing you know, they just played baseball, man. And we know that I don't care what inning it is, the game is never over. And they taught me something today, just stay positive. And they just went out there and executed, and I loved it.
We have time for 3 more here.
Okay, good. Thank you. Just want to make sure this is on. Right. Yeah, this is Alan from the Allen Alpha Sports Talk Show. I'm really curious to hear from each one of you how the interactions are when you meet an all-star, as far as them picking your brains and talking to you and getting to know you.
Oh, well, I won't speak for BJ and his coaching staff, but I know that one of their goals, just like our goal, was to impart as much wisdom and knowledge as we could in these kids in this short period of time. And from the moment I met them and all throughout the whole game, because a lot of times young kids, you can tell them, hey man, I'm here for you. But they get a little nervous. You know what I mean? They don't want, so I feel like I was able to crack that barrier by joking with them and teasing with them and stuff. I kept messing with them. Hey, when y'all walk in the clubhouse, just take a quick peek on the right. That's my swing right there. That's coach right there. You know, like messing with them, right? So I think the big part, the greatest part for me is getting the opportunity to impart some wisdom and some knowledge. And my coaching staff, we were all like-minded. And I know BJ and them were probably the same way because we were blessed to have a career in the major leagues. Okay, so I consider it a blessing for me, for the Lord to be able to allow me to talk to these young guys and try to give them something to help them be better baseball players. And I know for sure, just by the way they were thanking me after the game, that I know I made an impact on these guys. And I'm telling you that there's not too many greater feelings when you can touch some of these young boys and knowing young men and know that your knowledge may help them in the future be better players.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. I mean, it was just a matter of cracking it open, you know, because look, I was that kid who sitting next to Hank Aaron. I'm scared to say something to Hank Aaron, you know, and that's as a major league player. That was the big reason why I came to Atlanta, to meet Hank Aaron, and I got next to him and I was scared to talk. So I put myself in the place of those kids, you know, and I had to break the ice, tease them a little bit like Dave said, and got them to loosen up. And yeah, after the game, they're thanking me, you know. To see them talk to Ken Griffey Jr., you know, their eyes wide open when he's telling them how to hit and how to loosen your hands and the forearms, you gotta keep it loose. I mean, to see the attention that these kids were paying to him, that's what it's about, you know, because I'm gonna be honest, this younger generation is tough. These guys don't want to talk or ask for any advice or do anything, you know, so it was refreshing to see that these kids loosen up and ask questions. And it showed when they went out there on the field. They just had fun, and that's why my team won.
He ain't lying. They won.
All right.
Here in the front on the left.
All right, good evening, gentlemen. Andrew Snorton, Lens to Pens podcast. You've already shared a lot of the positive takeaways from the game, from the weekend. Where would you want to see this go, and how do you feel you can continue to make a positive impact and leave a bigger footprint with this being the third year of the Swingman Classic?
Well, this is my first year involved, okay? And you see it growing each year. You see, so the more attention is paid to it, means the more attention is going to be on these young players from these HBCU schools. Because, look, man, there's talent everywhere. It's just a matter of the exposure to that talent. So I think and then I think Junior has done a great job, man, and I think he will continue because this is his baby, you know. And I know BJ, myself, and all the guys that are involved will always be there for King Griffey Jr. if he wants us. And I just think in the future, as long as it'll continue to grow, and more importantly, I think the exposure to these young kids, because there's always a diamond in the rough, yo. There's always one or two out there that you say, oh man, you know, I don't know how they missed him, but there he is. You know what I mean? And those kids get drafted and they become big leaguers, and all of a sudden they sitting up here talking to y'all. You know what I mean? But that's what I see. I see it continue to grow, largely due to the fact of what Junior is to the game of baseball.
Yeah.
You see, and what he represents and what he means to the game of baseball. I think Major League Baseball will continue to really support it.
And I just love the fact that he is the ambassador of this thing, and how many people really support what he does. I love the fact that Major League Baseball has really stepped up, the PA and everybody else, to continue to see this thing grow. I think the ATL is probably the best place to have this game, but you know, next year's in Philadelphia, so the world gets to see it and experience it, and I think that's the most important part. You know, just spreading the wealth all around, so different areas can see these athletes on the field, and these kids continue to get that opportunity. Because I think, looking at this game today, I mean, 2, 3, 4 guys should be drafted. There's no doubt in my mind, and I think once we get year after year, we start seeing that more and more. I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And with King Griffey's support, he's going to push the needle. There's no doubt about it.
We'll take one more quick one here in the front.
Olivia Sayer, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. What's one moment, whether it was an interaction with the player, something someone said, that's going to stick with each of you when you look back on your time managing these two teams?
Look, I don't have one moment. I got so many moments, but the first thing I thought of was my starting pitcher when he gave up the home run, and when he was walking off the field. Man, I just told him, I said, man, I just like how you came back. His presence, he focused back in the strike zone, and I just love the way he handled that situation. And then when my right fielder came in, because he kind of booted the ball out there, and he went to the pitcher and he said, man, my bad, man. And the pitcher was like, man, that's part of the game. Don't you worry about that.
That's good.
You know what I mean? The interaction there just was so like positive and just supportive, and that's what I saw a lot with my team. I've got I mean, if I sit back and really think about all my little experiences tonight, there's a lot of them with these young boys. Because they started coming to talk to me. We were hanging out, if you watch, we were hanging out on that, and several different guys were just coming up just to stand by me, just to hang and talk. You know what I mean? And I love that.
You know, my favorite moment was the thank yous. You know, it shows the respect that these guys give to the coaches for being there for them. To me, that's the best thing that can happen to you, guys thanking you for being a part of it and allowing them to experience this great game of baseball. So it was many moments like that during the game. You know, even when I took guys out who didn't get a hit, you know, they would thank you for the opportunity. And, you know, the thing that I explained to the kids before the game, all we want in life is opportunities. And once you get that opportunity, you know, you better come through. And these guys had that opportunity.
All right, David and Brian, thank you so much for your time. We
Sure,
really
man.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great job.